Cormani McClain has been one of the only bright spots for the Florida Gators so far this season. Cormani has had the reputation of a player who has gotten in his own way on and off the field, but now the Lakeland High School product has turned it around with Billy Napier and the Gators. This season, Cormani's had 65 covered snaps with just 23 yards allowed, a 31.7 passer rating allowed, better than Colton Hood over at Tennessee, and an 82.4 coverage grade from PFF. The former five-star also recorded an interception last week versus Miami, the Hurricanes, picking off Carson Beck. Cormani, after Florida Gators practice on Wednesday, reflected on his time with Coach Prime in Colorado, and he discussed it with a new haircut here, chopping off his dreads that he's had since he was 10 years old. Take a listen.
Coach DR actually called me signing day 5 a.m. in the morning. Asked me do I want to come to Colorado. We chatted up, and I got out there 3 days later for a visit, and I was like, bro, it's home.
Were you homesick out there?
Nah.
No. So what went wrong in Colorado?
I was just a young player coming in. Like, I just had to adjust.
When did things start clicking for you, and like you feel like you got in a groove?
I'll probably say spring. Coming into spring, seeing all the young players, like I see I got to play a bigger role. So
How did it feel personally to just start doing right?
it feels great actually. Just trusting the process, and you ain't got nothing on your back, like no monkey on your back. You just coming to work.
There you hear it. Cormani, after transferring to Florida here, didn't really change his habits in the beginning here. After a few missed meetings and a general lack of attention to detail, Coach Napier had the Gators' entire defense show up for grueling 6 a.m. workouts because of Cormani's actions. But now, Billy Napier says Cormani is starting to turn the page when it comes to discipline, and his role has increased as Dijon Johnson unfortunately suffered a season-ending knee injury. I want to show you guys Billy Napier's comments here on Cormani McClain's journey as he discusses how Cormani has seemed to improve his discipline here. Take a listen to this, folks.
Just in general, the discipline issues disappearing. Just being a man, handling your business, staying off the list. I think that's where it started. And then he changed his habits, right? So his sleep habits, his nutrition habits. He worked at a different level in the weight room. You started to see his body change. He started to look you in the eye. He would address you. I made a rule with the guy. I said, look, no, you don't walk by me without addressing. We say hello. How you doing? We have conversation. So the number one thing, he's got to continue to grow as a communicator, right? That's where he has issues. He doesn't communicate. He assumes. And we know what assumes. You assume that makes it out of you and me, okay? So, and then I just think how he presents himself. He's got to take some ownership of all of those things, right? So, and then take a little bit of pride in your name and who you are, and work. Be a good teammate. Be accountable. Be dependable. Be where you're supposed to be. He's done that. Now he still makes some mistakes. I have to get on his ass all the time, but that's part of it.
We know the talent is there with Cormani, no doubt. We know, him picking off Carson Beck here. Last season, he picked six to pass against Kentucky, and then this season chased down Caden Durham against LSU, and that's a play that stands out, an effort play to say the least here. The talent is there. Cormani just needs to continue doing the little things on and off the field, and that's what matters here, and that's going to be the key to his success as the Gators here try to rebound this season, and as they prepare to face the Texas Longhorns this weekend. That is the one thing Cormani will need to continue to do, and something Billy Napier mentioned is keep that discipline, which he said was improving. Cormani's been one of the few bright spots for the Florida Gators this season, and I think this weekend Cormani will be ready to go against the Texas Longhorns. And I don't know, some folks think that the Florida Gators can upset the Longhorns here. That's going to be a win, must-win game for Billy Napier here, as the Florida Gators have an unbelievably tough schedule this season. Folks, if you're watching, go ahead and pound the like button, subscribe, become a member. If you like the clip here today, we're going to be back here on Monday with college football review with my main man, Alcorn State coach and director of football operations, Coach Leroy Frederick, will be back on the show Monday to discuss all things college football review. as a lot of big games this week in Alabama, Vandy, Texas, Florida, and several other games that we're going to review, dive into, and discuss in depth here. But I appreciate you all supporting the show here. We got a lot of stuff planned next week. Stay tuned. We'll have an update with 0 to 60, the premier show for Colorado Buffaloes football coverage. We'll have an update for that here this weekend, so stay tuned for that on Twitter. And we'll be back next week here on Bailey Price Media Live. Thank you for watching, folks, and enjoy your weekend of football ahead. Peace. Welcome back to another edition of Bailey Price Media Live.